The Kingston Powerhouse is a fantastic historical building. It was listed on the National Heritage Register and the ACT Heritage Register. In 2007, it became the Canberra Glassworks. When you arrive at the Canberra Glassworks, you step into the amazing building of the Kingston Powerhouse and you get a sense of the industrial aspect of it, but the way it's been refurbished to be this wonderful new centre for glass. I stumbled into glass. I was really lucky. I felt when I was about 18, I came across it in a ceramic design degree that I had embarked upon, and pretty well ever since then I've had a real love for it and have pursued it for the last 23 years. I've lived and worked in a number of cities and engaged in the community of that city that's around glass. And in 2009 I came across to Canberra to take up the position of the Creative Director of the Canberra Glassworks. This was a really exciting project to be part of, as it was a very new venture and a very important centre for glass in Australia. I've recently put together the exhibition called Swatch on at Sabia Gallery in Sydney. And this is a collection of works that I've created over the last year, building the ideas and exploring a number of ways to work with glass. And then in the last 6 months or so, I've been in a very intensive making period. Work is inspired by the details of nature, and that's a theme that I've worked with over the last 10 years. I'm really interested in where there's a sort of dense pattern and a repetition that you see or experience in nature that builds up this rhythm and speaks of something about the passing of time, often growth. You know, there's lines and patterns that are really referencing the growth of something, whether it's a leaf or a shell, or the sort of coverings of certain things like mosses, lichen, bark. This body of work, though, is a body of work where I'm really trying to connect those details of nature, those sorts of themes, with a natural kind of relationship that my work has had with textiles and an image of a woven line and the way those lines sort of work in together. And that gets drawn together by the way that I'm very interested in drawing and the drawn line. These three themes is what I've tried to combine in this exhibition to create this body of work.
I started off as a sculptor. I graduated from the Canberra School of Art in 1985. And then took a detour through academia and textiles and photography and came back to 3 Dimensions in 2008, coming back to do beginners workshops in different mediums and techniques here at the Canberra Glassworks. So it's been a long roundabout journey. It's always been connected with creativity. So on the one hand, I'm probably an established artist, visual artist, but on the other hand I'm an emerging artist as far as it comes to glass. And it came about because I'm a member of the ACT Indigenous Textiles and Glass Artists group, and we were watching the powerhouse being turned into Canberra Glassworks and watched it and decided, 4 of us decided that we'd apply for funding to Arts ACT if we could come and learn some beginners techniques. And I got hooked. There's no more to say than that. And I've done ongoing workshops ever since here with some of the most amazing glass artists, truly master glass artists here. Well, I work in a range of different styles. The work that you've seen in the exhibition at CCAS is hot blown glass, or the majority of the big pieces are hot blown glass, using an Italian, a very ancient Italian technique called zanfirico to make canes, which are then picked up and blown in the hot shop. A lot of design goes into working out which colours and what style canes and so forth that we have to make, and it takes a large team. Also at CCAS you've seen kiln-fused panels on the wall in the Pilbara ones, which are made with bullseye glass. I have powders mixed with honey and various other mediums to give different textures. And then on the other wall at CCAS, you had the heritage photographs, which were mounted behind sandblasted glass. And sandblasted designs actually talk about the journeys of each of those people that they've made. And it refers to that white mist of bureaucracy, mainstream dominant culture bureaucracy that still hides Aboriginal people, hides their voices, stops them from showing who they really are.
Well, first of all, the medium I'm working with is glass, and specifically in the field of glass, I work with fused glass, which is a technique that we have developed over the last 30 years. But my roots go back into the late 60s, and I started this kind of work. When I came to Australia in 1992, we established the glass workshop at the National University, and the first works that we could do technically were fused pieces, and so fused glass has established itself in Australia as a very strong component in glassmaking. For a roll-up, the starting position is always the panel, and the making of a panel is taking about a week in the different processes until it is ready to go through the roll-up process. Tom and a team of 7 people most of the time are able to finish what I'm starting in the studio. In the year 2000, it was the first time that I experiment with roll-ups, and which are called by the Americans the Aussie roll-up, because it is something that is purely Australian. The name of this show is a continuum, and this for good reasons. Normally when you see an artist's exhibition, it is one theme that is dominating the show. In my case, it is a conglomerate, different pieces from different series, and on one point you have this piece that is really getting into your eye. On the other side you have pieces that are a reflection of landscape, and you have pieces that are a reflection of pure of color, and a reflection to to other things, like, let's say, the Aborigine culture. Very often I'm seen as an artist who is working with abstract geometry. This piece is reflecting clearly the rock strata of the south coast between Bermagui and Tazra. And but the satisfying moment for me is to work in collaboration and introduce other talents into this circle of work and get something out that is quite satisfying.